Good day everyone, I am Rovi Hanisi Caballes, and in this video, I am going to discuss the literature during the period of Imitation. Now, if you were to ask why it has been called literature during the period of Imitation, it is because writers during this period imitated American and British models and styles. In other words, this period was characterized by the Filipino writers imitating the American and English writers. Hence, the period was named as the period of imitation. So we have here a brief background on this period. So during this period, the Philippines was under the rule of Americans. Public education was introduced and became accessible to many Filipino children. More schools were established and English was used as a medium of instruction. Okay, now let's move on to the significant events during this period. By 1919, the UP College Folio published the literary compositions of the first Filipino writers in English. They were the pioneers in short story writing. They were then grouping their way into imitating American and British models, which resulted in a stilted, artificial, and unnatural style, lacking vitality and spontaneity. In 1920, the Philippine Herald, the first Filipino daily in English, was founded, and at the same year, the bulletin was put into print. Newspapers and periodicals also saw print during this time, like the Philippine Review, the Independent, Rising Philippines and Citizens, and the Philippine Education magazine on the year 1924. So we are now on the characteristics of literary works on this period. So the literary works on this period was heavily imitates American and English models. So as what I have said earlier, that this period has been called period of imitation because writers during this period imitates American and English models. Rigid and unnatural styles, lacks of vitality and spontaneity. These two are results of imitating American and English models. Now, I will be sharing to you some prominent authors and their works during this period. So, we have the writers of UP College Folio, included Fernando Maramag, the best editorial writer of this period, Juan F. Salazar, Jose M. Hernandez, Vicente Del Ferro, Francisco M. Africa, and Victoriano Yamzon. They pioneered in English poetry. Noted essayists, so essay was a Filipino genre that was born in the period of imitation. The following essayists wrote formal essays which were truly scholarly, full of sobriety, substance, and structure. Pioneers in formal essay include Carlos P. Romulo, George C. Bacobo, Mauro Mendez, and Vicente Hilario. They excelled in the serious essay, especially in the editorial type. In informal essay, writers also emerge and they are composed of Ignacio Manlapas, Godofredo Rivera, Federico Mangajas, Francisco B. Casiano, Salvador P. Lopez, Jose Lansang, and Amado G. Deirit. They spice their work with humor, wit, and satire. So, in the field of short stories, many writers became popular during this period due to their masterful work. Notable writers include Paz Marquez Benitez, who wrote The Dead Stars, Bernardo P. Garcia wrote the poem George Washington, Zolio Galang, who published the first anthology of short stories in Tales of the Philippines, Marcelo de Garcia Concepcion wrote the award-winning poem Azucena, Lorenzo E. Paredes, who wrote the first anthology Reminiscences, and Carlos P. Romulo, who published a collection of plays entitled Daughters for Sale and Other Plays. Now, one of the writers became popular during this period is Procopio Solidum. One of his notable work is titled Nevermind and Other Poems. Procopio is a Negrance poet and holds the distinction of being the first Filipino to publish a collection of poems in English. Procopio Solidum was born in Cadiz, Negros Occidental on July 6, 1901, the son of Jaime Solidum and Colomba Lopez Vito, and he studied in the Barrio School of Sicaba and later at the Cadiz Central School, where he wrote his first poem, Your Early Time. So, Nevermind and Other Poems by Procopius Silidum is one of the earliest collections of poems in English. It is a collection of Filipino poetry in English in 1922 and was published in 1921. So this book exemplifies the kind of poetry written by those Filipino who first ventured to express their vision of life in the new language. So that's all for my report. Hope you understand something to what I have discussed, and thank you for listening.